Alright guys, now I want to go on to the Real Housewives series show. I don't even know. I've been hooked on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills lately because of the drama with Erika Jayne. Oh my god, I watched the Housewife and the Hustler documentary, now I'm just hooked. I can't stop thinking and watching and reading about these crazy, awful, in my eyes, I'm sorry, if you like Erika, I'm sorry, but I want to just use the word awful people. And if you haven't watched the documentary, please, so help me God, watch it. If you are a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fan and you know who Erika Jayne is, please watch the documentary because it is unbelievable. Anyway, guys, we have more drama with Erika Jayne and Thomas Girardi, and yeah, it is just, it's kind of hilariously sad. Here's the deal. He needs to sell his house. If you don't know the whole story, I'll very quickly tell you, you should know. Thomas was an attorney. He was the kind of like I don't even know, I guess you could use like he's an injury attorney. We see all these people, they're the kind of attorneys that advertise like crazy because they make so much money. And the deal is, if you help the person get money, then the attorney gets a percentage of that money. That's how that kind of attorney-client relationship works. So Thomas, Erika's, now ex-husband, was doing amazing. He was this big-time lawyer. He was the guy you went to. If you had a situation you needed, to sue someone for, if you were in that kind of an injury, whatever situation, you'd go to Thomas Girardi. Well, a couple years ago, he started literally taking and stealing and spending all of his clients' money. He'd win the money, then he would lie and do this whole thing where he said he was going to invest the money in this, and oh my god. You need to watch the documentary. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. Watch the documentary. It's so good. Long story short, she ended up filing for divorce, she being Erika. Now part of this whole bankruptcy thing that Thomas is going through is he has to sell his house. However, the guy listed the house about like 2 or 3 times more than the house is actually worth. And so there is the house. I'll show you. It's actually on Zillow, and apparently according to Screen Rant, the house is worth about $6.5 to $6.8 million, which is still a ton of money. Thomas is still living in the house because the way that the bankruptcy deal works is like this. He has to sell the house. Once he sells the house, the guy has 20 days to move out, and then he has to go figure his own crap out. But in the meantime, he can still live there. And so what do you think the idiot, just a low-life idiot, what do you think he did? He listed the house for $16 million. I don't know how he got away doing that. I'm sure he just lied. The guy's constantly lying, so it's not very shocking. But to me, it's like this is just the biggest, ridiculous crap. So Erika's gone. She moved out because once all the bad publicity about Thomas came out and all this stuff with the court case and him possibly going to jail, she immediately divorced them, which of course, I'll talk about that in a second. But for this whole house situation, he listed the house for $16 million, then they lowered it to $13, then they lowered it to $11. Now it's at $9 million, but even like I just said, Screen Rant says the house is worth like, $6.8 million. So still, the guy is just trying to do anything he can do. If I had to guess, I'd say the court is probably pushing him to lower it, and he's not going to get $9 million for the house if it's worth $6.8. It's not going to happen. He's obviously trying to list it as high as he possibly can, so he doesn't have to sell it, so he can live there as long as he possibly can, because the guy is a lowlife. I'm sorry. I kind of thought in earlier episodes that Thomas Girardi was kind of a funny old man kind of a thing. I thought it was just like a nice, he wasn't really nice. Like, he was actually pretty rude to Erika, I will say, before all this stuff happened. But I was, just like a funny old kind of, and he's a real old man. That's all I ever thought of the guy. Just a stupid old rich man. That's it. And now I'm kind of like, oh, this is like really freaking weird. The guy's a complete con artist, a complete legitimate con artist. You have to be really bad to do it. So these people were going to him. He would win their cases. Then he would just legitimately lie. If you watch the documentary, you can hear him saying some of these voicemails. He is flat out lying about why he doesn't have the money and the this, and it's really awful. So I don't like him. And for Erika, I'm not a huge fan of her either. I kind of think she's right there with him. Now, it's a big debate. Did she know? Did she not know? Of course, now she's filing for divorce. If you hear her talking, though, in episode 2 ago of Real Houses of Beverly Hills, I did listen to her talk with all the other girlfriends about the situation. They were asking her what is going on, and she basically took the story of the divorce and just claimed he has dementia, he has Alzheimer's, and he likely has a new woman. And he had a new woman this entire time. And some of the ladies were like defending her. But let's just look at the timeline. All this crap comes out. Then she files divorce like immediately, right after. But now she's trying to spin it like it has nothing to do with the court case. It has nothing to do with all the legal drama. It has everything to do with the fact that it's like, he has no money, and he has dementia, and he has this serious issue, and he's probably been cheating on her. But it's like, if she wanted to pretend that she had no idea about all this legal stuff and she had no idea what he was doing, wouldn't you have, I don't know, just came out and said, I had no idea. He did something very wrong, and because of that, I'm divorcing him. But here's where it gets kind of fishy. Because now the court is going after her. Apparently Thomas Girardi's broke now, so they can't get much from him. So now they're going after her, possibly. I think the courts are talking about the possibility, because he was giving her so much money, talking about the possibility of going after her money. Because it is like, if he was stealing money and giving it to her, I mean, you know, they might have to get it. Like, I don't even know. It's like, it's just a crazy string of events. So that's why I think she is trying to act like she had no idea, but she's trying to act like the reason she divorced him is because he was cheating and he was doing this and he has dementia. And it's like, really? I mean, in a normal situation, if your significant other got dementia, you would just go throw him on a street corner and divorce him? Like, no way. So the story doesn't make any sense. I feel like it'd be more believable for her just to come out and admit he did something very wrong. But I think she can't say that, because if she came out and said that he did something very wrong and, you know, he's a con artist, he's a crook, then I think it would almost make her look worse, and like she has to give her money up that he gave her. So it's very, so I think what she has to kind of do, and I think what she is doing, not what she has to, I think what she is doing is she's lying. I'm sure she knew. I'm sure she had somewhat of an idea that she has to have. Like, she had to have no way. You can't have, for what he did and for how long he did it, and just, there's just no way. There's absolutely no way she didn't have somewhat of an idea, at least in my opinion. Maybe you guys who disagree, definitely can make sure to comment below if you agree or disagree, but I think she probably had a thought, had an opinion. She probably knew what was going on to a certain degree. But either way you look at it, it's like she has to lie, and she's just pretending that she has no idea, just because if she doesn't want to incriminate herself. And it's this weird, like, I don't even know. It's just so crazy. So y'all, keep y'all up to date. I am obsessed, absolutely. Well, I don't want to use words. I've been watching a lot of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I've been trying to kind of get into some Potomac. I've watched that show for quite some time. I just haven't been able to get hooked, but I'm slowly starting to get more into that. And let me know if there's any other Real Housewives show I should be checking out. But yeah, guys, comment below what you guys think. I mean, I am not a fan of Erika Jayne's. I think Erika Jayne knew, and I think she was using him, and I just think the whole story of how she was sitting there out with her girlfriends in the patio saying, oh, he has another woman. It's like, no, he doesn't. Like, the guy's like 85 years old. Who would he be with? And I just, no. And the other thing, too, it's funny. 1 second she's claiming he has dementia. Like, she had this whole story of how he drove out on a hill, and the hill in their backyard, and this, and then she found him 12 hours later. But then he was with a woman. It was like, what are you even trying to? Your story makes no sense, Erika. So for me, I can't stand her. I think she's a liar. I think she knew, and I think she's just trying to do anything she can possibly do to get out of this crazy situation with Thomas and just kind of get out, kind of clear, and not have to pay anything. But I think honestly, at the end of the day, if Thomas is truly broke and he was really wiring her the account, the kind of money that I've been reading these numbers. There's crazy numbers, like, you know, 20-some million, this million. If he was wiring her that kind of money, even if it's for her business or whatever, no way. She's gonna have to give some of it up, and she is kind of honestly screwed. I don't know how she makes any other money besides, you know, her music and whatnot, but it's like, is that really profitable? The thing I will say, though, is comment below what you guys think of this whole situation. I find this incredibly interesting. The one thing I want to comment is I can't stand Erika, but I had a friend, very random, but I have a friend who actually went to one of her concerts and met Erika, and he said it was, like, actually decent. I cannot stand her music. I think, yeah, not a fan of the music, but he said music was great, it was fun, she was, like, so nice in person, she was very down to earth, which I'm like, Erika Jayne? So I don't know. I guess to each their own. I'm not a fan, maybe you are, so comment below what you think, and if you think Erika had any idea with this whole Thomas situation. Very, very, very crazy stuff, though, guys.